Sweaty Plebs! Game of the year! It's Sweaty Plebs! Game of the year! That's all you get.
Right on.
What song is that?
Right on.
John Cena. Okay.
Yeah, it's John Cena.
Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Sweaty Plebs podcast, episode 95.
95. Hayden, anything happened in 95? Yes.
Yes, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Terrible year.
All right, got dark.
Yeah, terrible year.
So how we
Also, I was born.
started off real dark. Welcome back. It is technically January, so new year.
New year,
Let's
new
go
me.
over this episode is all about game of the year. It doesn't have to be new games of the year because it's not a professional job, so we can't play every new game that comes out. But game of the year for us ourselves that we really enjoyed this past year. But before we start, we should crack some drinks.
Yes, drinks. I have
Dylan.
Yagaki Sake. Jumai. I don't know. No beer today. You know why? Beer is a 2021 thing. Just kidding. Next week I'll have a beer. Do I drink sake a lot? No, I don't. So here I go. I taste it.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like sake. Oh, yep. It's definitely sake, and that was maybe the last time I drank it this entire year. But more importantly,
No, I'll
Polar
recommend some good stuff
Seltzer
to you.
cranberry lime flavor.
Nice.
I could do that. I'll do that.
Mix
I'll
them
do that.
together.
I had the Polar orange cream one. It's like an orange creamsicle. It's
Yeah, this is
delicious.
really good. I like this a lot. I'm a big cranberry and lime guy. So
You look like
Yeah.
a cranberry lime guy. Right?
It really does.
Their ginger lime mule
I also
is
like
also fantastic.
ginger and lime. All right, now I blend them.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells terrible.
See.
I bet it's going to be good.
Yeah, it might be better.
Refreshing.
I
Delightful.
think better than just straight sake.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on.
I just like sake because you can drink like
sake
10 cups
bomb.
of small amount.
I haven't done that in a really long time, but I did do that in the past, and it's fun. I only did it because I was
Yeah, I've never
underage,
done
and
it.
this guy just didn't care, so he would just serve us at his restaurant.
There you go.
Attaboy.
Jaeger
I did
bombs are
Jaeger bomb once
disgusting.
and I threw up, so I
Jaeger
just
is
haven't done it
disgusting,
again.
and I say this
Yeah,
as
Jaeger
somebody
bombs
who
are
likes
gross.
Fernet, which is basically the same thing, but
Yep.
Jaeger's does. Yeah.
It's got a cool
Cool name,
bottle.
too.
I'll give it that.
Jaeger.
Yeah. One of the coolest. Jaeger.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys ever see Pacific Rim? Jaegers.
Yeah.
Mhm. Pretty cool. Pretty cool
Empty the
stuff.
clip. That's the
Yeah.
line that always in my head. I was like, you don't have a clip. Doesn't make sense.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but it sounds cool.
It's one of the few movies I've rewatched.
I like the first one. The second one I don't remember.
Yeah, the first
It's
one's
that much.
very entertaining. I don't remember the second
I
one
think
too much either.
It's Always Sunny guy is in the second one.
Well, he's in the first one also.
Okay, well he's in the second one maybe.
Yeah,
I
he's
could
also
just be
in the
getting them
first.
mixed up.
Yeah. I mean, basically they lost Guillermo, which was
Yes,
the reason
yeah.
it worked in the first place, so.
But it is what it is.
All right, coming at you hot from Crystal Springs Brewing Company. Where that is, I don't know. A blood orange Kolsch. It's got a little eagle on the barrel. Had this one before. Let me tell you, if you like blood
I like
oranges,
an orange
it's
dipped in blood.
delightful. It's terrifying. Yeah, no, it's a nice, refreshing beer. A little citrusy, a little bitter,
Nice.
but not too bitter.
Good.
Just the right amount. Just refreshing. Not really a good setup for the weather that we had
I
this
think-
past week here, but you know. Yeah, we went from a windstorm and a large fire that
heard.
evacuated tens of thousands of people to a 6-inch
Yeah,
Because
snowstorm.
crazy
at that
weather.
point anything is good.
I know we're getting the
Yeah.
coldest it's been in 5 years. It went to like -2 or something.
I went to Faulkner Height.
While it is terrible, that's not
No.
the worst ever. At a certain point, it doesn't really feel worse. You just get
cold quicker. And we have lots of snow, which is like out of the ordinary.
Let me tell you, guys, I went on a 8-mile walk yesterday, and it was too hot. I got too hot. I only was wearing a flannel and a jean jacket. Too hot.
Son of a bitch.
I did have a beanie on.
Oh.
Had to take the beanie off.
I think some people out here would agree with you on Thursday.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I have this thing
Faulkner?
from Woodland Empire called The Edge of Rainbows. The hazy IPA with
What's
pineapple
that guy's
added.
name? Edge of Tomorrow? Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise, thank you.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise?
I still have yet to see
Oh,
that
you
movie.
would like it. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think I prefer Lib Diver
It's
Pete a
official.
little more.
That's supposed to be the sequel.
Yeah.
This is nice. A little soury, actually.
Maybe
Oh.
Yeah.
maybe
That's
they put
fine.
sour
So,
Skittles in there.
yeah.
Taste the
Sour
rainbow.
Skittles, maybe.
Maybe.
The rainbow. Cool. All right. Let's get into games we've been playing, and then we'll get into our game of the year. How about that? Skittles gummies.
Yeah,
Nice. They're
those
good.
are I
They're
haven't
good.
had the
Those are Skittles
wild
gummies,
berries.
yeah.
I had the other ones. They're good.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I have had the wild berry ones. I hadn't had the other ones until recently.
Got it.
Games that we've been playing. I have played games this week. In fact, quite a lot.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
We've had all week
Um,
off.
most of that time has been Ziggurat 2. What a game, man. A lot of fun. I won't go too deep into it, but yeah, I just really enjoy it. It's just a fun solo one of those. FPS, roguelike, whatever. Sick. I've unlocked a bunch of characters, a bunch of weapons. Fought some new bosses, so I'm hoping there's still more content for me to unlock, but I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. Other than that, dipped my toe back into AoE 4. I beat the French campaign and the Mongol campaign and started the Russian campaign.
Oh, man, you really played it then.
The Mongol one is
I still haven't
most
beat the
fun.
French campaign.
Out of the ones I've played so far.
It's a cool civ,
fun.
right? It's kind of fun. The
Yeah,
concepts
it's
are fun.
very different. It is tough sometimes when you're like, I forget what it's called, but my little stone building ran out of stone. And you have to go set up like somewhere else. But it's cool, like being able to just like move your buildings around. You can really build up an army fast if you have your setup correct.
Yeah, because they don't need houses, right? I think that civ doesn't need houses.
I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah.
Remember ever building a house? So no, it must not.
Yeah, I think they're one of the few the only one that doesn't need to do houses. You get max population count right away.
Shows you how much I paid attention. It was fun. I recommend beating it. I wish that there was more campaigns because probably going to beat the Russian one this week, I would assume.
I feel like they'll probably add more over time. And then there's community campaigns that are going to start coming out. I think in February, March, around Q1 I know the U of A has a community campaign. So, yeah, I suspect more stuff like that. It's cool. They just did a whole entire rebalance on a bunch of the stuff because before, like, the French were overpowered. So they rebalanced everything. And the French were overpowered not only on land, but also in the water. So they just owned all of it.
Not the sky.
Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of tournament gameplay.
I have not watched any tournament gameplay.
It's pretty cool. Microsoft is sponsoring a 3v3 tournament.
It could be us. Yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
who
There's
knew?
3 of us.
So they're doing that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good one of those. Also, been playing Orcs.
You like
They
it?
Must Die, the third one. Only played like 5 matches with my brother. It's fun. It's a very casual tower defense game. Yeah, it plays
You
well.
know,
Looks good.
it's just delightful.
See if we're gonna put something else on there. That's what I was gonna say next. Alien Fire Team.
You can do it. Yeah.
It's you kill aliens.
It's okay.
It's one of my favorite things to do. That's all I'll say. You can talk about it.
Okay. I did
Yeah.
play more than you.
Aliens has some great
Um,
effects also.
And then I also I bought Days Gone yesterday. Played a little bit of it.
What? Wait, why'd you buy it?
It's fun one
It's
of those,
part of
right?
PS
Well,
Plus.
I bought it on my
collection.
computer. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right, never mind then. I'm sorry.
it's fun. Yeah, I haven't gotten super far, but it's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, like it's
I've only played
not
like
the best game
30
ever, but
minutes.
for what it is. It's great.
I enjoy what I've done, but looks cool.
That's good.
Let
I
me know
have
when you experience your first horde, because
You gotta
my
beat
favorite
it.
zombie hordes.
See if you beat
Me,
it.
I'm gonna beat it, of course. It's gonna take me all year.
Yeah. Oh, of course, you hear him. I'm gonna beat it. Of
I
course.
actually beat it.
I beat games
It'll take me
regularly.
the full year. I did beat Pokemon this last week, but
Oh, the new one?
not much to say.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
just a remake.
Is it a good
Yeah.
remake? Like quality of life
Uh,
stuff and things like that.
It's not. Yeah, I mean it's
It's too
Pokemon.
easy.
It's gonna be easy. The last boss or whatever, the Elite Four lady, she's pretty tough actually in this one. But I beat her, so not that tough. Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
This guy
guy's pretty
should be in
good.
tournaments.
probably not. My team is just overpowered. I mean, it's too easy because it has a experience here on from the start. So it's like if you just have something in your team, it's going to be appropriately leveled. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, you got some
Yeah.
gaming in.
A little bit here and there, mostly Ziggurat.
Yeah,
fun.
I've seen.
It's a fun game.
Yeah. I'm
I've
up
seen
at
it.
like 2 a.m. and I look on my Discord and it shows Zig
Yeah.
2.
It's addicting, man. It's like a one more run thing, nonstop.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so him talking about it all the time finally
Nice.
convinced me to actually get it. It's a good one of those. It took a couple of games for it to like fully click for me, but I'm into it. I've been doing most of the campaign. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I've only
Dylan's
done
still doing
campaign.
that or if he's doing like the classic modes, but yeah, it's good. I mean, there's a story. I've skipped every single cutscene, so you know. Yeah, it's got a nice little progression. I've started like unlocking more of the maps and zones, and music's solid. Not always amazing, but like every once in a while you get that one track that just kind of hits you. Weapons, I know the more I play, it's gonna like delve a little deeper. Like stabs, for example, I feel like I either literally have one unlocked, or every one I
You
have
know, you
unlocked is
gotta
the exact same.
Keep doing
So-
the missions to unlock them. Yeah. Shows
You
you.
gotta play more.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I like the one that I have though, so like I'm cool with it.
Wild concepts.
But it's good. I'm looking forward to it because like even on apprentice setting, like you can still pretty easily just screw yourself over and lose runs. And there's 3 more difficulties on top of that one, so I'm thinking if there's enough meat on the bones that I could see myself just going back and back and
Yeah,
just doing the
it doesn't
harder
get-
settings.
Too hard. Like there's not many runs where I end up losing, unless it's like me just doing something really stupid, picking something up.
Exactly. Like, you know, sometimes you see a little blood fountain or fountain that fully heals you and gives you extra ones, like right in the first room. You're just like, fuck it, I'll just take it now. It's a mistake. Save it before the boss. Otherwise, speaking of other games I already mentioned, Orcs Must Die 3. It's a good game. I like it. It's a lot easier with 2
did you
people
play
than it is
solo
with
sub?
1. Yeah, I've gotten a couple more missions
Okay.
than me and Dylan got in together. And like in solo, you get to set them out. I cannot tell if there's any differences in the amount of enemies spawned or how like much resources that you get at the end of every round. It seems like it's literally the same. You just get twice the amount of traps if you play with 2 people,
That makes sense.
which like on some levels
Yeah.
makes it way too easy. but like I can tell as you get farther and farther in, it kind of seems like it's built around that. I also refuse to look up a guide for like optimal builds, so I'm just kind of like trying to find it out on my own.
We've been doing
So
fine.
that could also be it.
together. Yeah.
Oh yeah, together easy. Solo, I have not beat the war machine or war mission.
Well, I
that
mean,
I've
there's
been on
more
for a
ground to
little
cover, right? You can't just split up in stuff like
Exactly.
that. That's the difference.
bit. Yeah, and like the war missions are the big missions in the game, where instead of
Smaller.
it being like
Yeah.
3 lanes tops and like tiny, it's still around the same amount of lanes.
Mhm.
In fact, even less sometimes. But instead of there being like 50 orcs per turn,
It's a lot.
it's like 500.
There's a lot of orcs.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
cool if you're into those games. But as you can imagine, like solo, where you can only build up so much and you can't actually hold off one lane by yourself
Yeah.
because there's just too many. It's kind of rough, a little bit rough. But also that's a good thing.
It's a
'cause,
challenge.
you know, there's more to go back to. Yeah. Also, the progression in
is
that game, I'm a big fan of. Like you can see, there's a lot of traps. You can upgrade the traps like a tower defense game.
Is the progression
so I'm looking
per
forward to it.
like scenario, or is it like persistent?
Persistent. So it's not like other tower defense games where it's just like, oh,
Mhm.
level 2 tower, level 3 tower. It's always going to be you just buy it and that's what it is. But there's basically like mastery level upgrades and just standard ones. So like reducing the cooldown for the tower to go in effect, and then also
Okay.
giving it some special effect, which it's good. There's also a lot of weapons. It seems
Variety
like.
is good. Yeah.
So like,
Spice.
spice of life. Some
It's
say.
the umami.
Other than that, nothing too special for me. You know, I played a little more Card of Darkness. That game's difficulty curve ramps up stupid hard, and I don't think I'm gonna finish it now. Like, I know there's supposed to be 8 worlds. World 1, breeze through it. World 2 is just like, alright, this is a little challenging, but I can do this. Haven't beat a single map on the 3rd level.
All right.
Like, it's... And there's, like, no upgrade paths that you're doing, so it's just like, oh, well, fuck me. Like, I just can't do
Teach you a
anything
lesson.
now.
Yeah, that sucks. It's not teaching him a lesson. He
It's a
can't
good game,
figure it
though.
out.
I'm learning. I mean, I know that you can buy consumables from the shop,
That's
and
how
that
they
would
get
allow
you.
me to win.
Sons of bitches.
But no, that's the nice thing about Apple Arcade. It's not real money.
Ah,
It's
okay.
just money in
All right.
game. Yeah, that is the reason that I decided to go in for Apple Arcade. It's just like, I want to play a phone game, but I just want it to be a cohesive
Mhm.
product on its own. And this does that for me. Let me tell you. I'm gonna download chess on that bitch. Make my dad play
Is
with
he
me.
though?
He'll
Yeah,
do
okay,
it.
fair
He'll
enough.
do it
Yeah.
once.
He'll probably do it once.
He'll do
That's
half
true.
a game.
That's true.
Yeah, it's
All right.
think
I've
that's
been
me.
playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nice.
I started last
Woo!
week.
Game of the year.
I got about 35 hours in right now. I'm on second to the last chapter. I'm about to finish that chapter. I was playing it when you guys all signed on. And I was about to finish the chapter 17. That game is great. That game is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The haters, you guys are idiots. I'm saying it now. I don't know what your problems are. The game is fantastic from almost every level. The combat system is a lot of fun. It's very engaging. I guess they have an option for a classic mode, which makes it just like focus on your ATB bar and you can just give commands and the characters auto attack. But playing the way it's supposed to be played, where you're constantly engaged and swapping characters and stuff like that, it's really fun. The materia system's good. I like the changes they've made to it. Feels really nice. What else? I mean,
What about the music?
I mean, let's go. Like, the music is prime. Like, you can't. There's not many games that will beat. I mean, Final Fantasy music in general is really good. So there's not many titles that can generally beat it. It's fantastic. The only thing I really I don't enjoy is sometimes the pacing, because there's a lot of like stop points, which is like a very Japanese RPG kind of thing where like, all right, you cross this little section, then there's like a conversation, it pauses, and you start walking slow, and you start walking slow because the conversation needs to carry through to get you to the next part. So it wants to finish the conversation before you get to the next checkpoint.
Yeah.
I feel you on that, but as someone who didn't like binge play the game, I would just take those moments to be like, all right, set it down for now.
Yeah.
We'll start with this next time.
Other than that, I think it's really good. I think what they did, and I don't remember, I mean, I played Final Fantasy VII original long time ago, so like there's a lot of rose-colored glasses and lost memories associated to it. But I feel like the characters, like the NPCs, the side characters, get a lot more life to them. They're a lot more interesting. And even your character interactions with others are a lot more interesting and better. And it, of course, it still has a JRPG type of humor, which is kind of like awkward, weird humor, socially awkward kind of conversations. And I'm like, okay, I know what game I'm playing, so it's kind of, I'm okay with it. And then the over-the-top personalities, like Barrett's such an over-the-top person. And you're like, okay, guy, all right, settle down. But it's like a JRPG, so you're like, okay, that's just how it is.
Yeah. He both is, but I have definitely met a Barrett in real life.
Yeah,
before.
sure, 100%. Yeah. But from like when you're playing the character over and over for 30 hours, you're like, oh, okay. You're like, okay, I get it. I get it. Relax. I like the pacing with the character utilization, the characters that you use. They do a really good job of, in many JRPGs, you'll get like, all right, you have multiple characters to choose, and you can only pick so many in your party at one time. What that game does really good is each section doesn't give you the option. Essentially, you're limited on your characters, but you're always rotating characters out. So you're always trying out different gameplay styles and mix-ups and matches. So it always feels fresh in a way, and you never feel like you're losing out on a specific character to choose from within your party composition. Right? You'll go through a section with just yourself, with just Cloud, or you'll go through a section with Cloud and Tifa, or just Cloud and Barrett, or Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa. But Aerith is out of play. Like, she's not even not an option because something happened, or vice versa. So you're kind of forced into these things. It's really cool. I really like it. I encourage, if you like JRPGs, even if you don't like JRPGs, I think this is a great game to jump into to wet your toes.
Oh, 100%. Like, combat alone is the main reason that I don't stick with JRPGs, and this is by far the most fun JRPG combat I've ever seen.
It's so good. It's very... I actually like turn-based combat, but this is probably one of the best active combat systems I've played.
Plus,
it is very pretty.
Real cool.
It is very pretty. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I encourage everyone to play it. It's not my game of the year this year because I have another one that just beat it enough, but it's pretty high. I'm very happy I finally got to play it. And then the other game I played this week was Alien Fireteam Elite. I beat the campaign. If you are into PvE co-op third-person shooters like World War Z or even Gears of War, but more Remnant for the Ashes. I think this is a very good... It doesn't do anything like... It doesn't break any ground. It has a cool IP, like you're killing xenomorphs, which is cool, which you haven't really done. I can't think of a Alien title where you've done that, right?
I think there might be one, but I think it really fell in its face.
I think it just does everything really well for that genre of
very
game.
Easy to play too.
I think that it's very easy. It's very simple. I think the progression model is really cool. There's different classes. Each class has their own skills, very similar to. It feels a lot like Division, even, right? Because Division has a lot of rolling and hiding behind cover, and then you have your skills that you launch or whatever. And you have the different classes, and you have your own like perk system. And as you level up or unlock stuff, like each map has like a hidden cache to get extra unlocks for like weapons, attachments, and skills. your build and stuff like that starts to really expand, and as you level up so you have your main class, which is your overall rank, and then you have your character classes, and your character class is what unlocks this perk tree essentially, or this perk grid system. And the grid system has certain roadblocks within it that are restricted by your class rank. And then as you upload and rank, these roadblocks open up, and then you can really start mix and matching these nodes you put in. And these nodes can take up like a 2x2 or a 3x1 or something like that. And then you got to mix and match, and then they'll connect to your skills specifically and enhance your skills, like increased duration or expanded radius and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
You lost me for a little bit, but it's fine.
Yeah,
there's a lot,
so
of,
there's a lot of that,
bones,
and
so
then the
cool.
weapons. There's a lot of weapon variety, and there's a lot of attachments for those weapons. So there's a decent enough progression model that like will keep you interested. I actually like it better than World War Z's progression model.
Yeah.
Because World War Z is just the perk tree, and then you pick one option within each row or column.
Yeah.
This one's far more customizable, and the classes are pretty cool. Like there's enough variety. And I beat the campaign. Campaign's fine. Like I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I don't think you play that kind of game for the story. I think you play that game for.
Yeah, I have not paid attention to the story at all.
Yeah. And then once you beat the campaign, you unlock an actual horde mode, and you unlock this other mode. I don't remember what it's called. So I've yet to try those, but they seem. I mean, it's a horde mode.
Yeah.
So, what do you say, right?
Kill a lot of aliens.
Mode. I think it's a cool cooldown game.
Yeah, it's a very casual game. It's fun to get in and around and just shoot a lot.
Yeah, just shooting a lot of bullets, killing a lot of things. So, I enjoyed it. It's good.
Also,
Game Pass. It's Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, like there's no reason not to play it if you just want a casual, just kill aliens kind of game.
Which I like to do.
Yeah.
Turn your brain off.
So I'm excited. I'm actually looking forward to playing it more and like fully unlocking a couple of classes at least to see what they're like, because it does, as you unlock and increase your build variety, it does become more fun. Who knew? Fucking
a wild
wild,
concept
bro.
for gaming.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. All right. So those are the games we've been playing. How about we get into some game of the year? So I want to preface, last week, if you listened to last week, a certain somebody here mentioned they were going to do a draft, like a fantasy draft, and that certain somebody had all week off of work. No work at all to do it. And it didn't happen.
It did happen. I did my own fantasy draft for myself.
That's not it. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through our personal like gems that we found throughout the year and we'll mention whatever game we thought was like the banger for. I'm not sure if we should do like our game of the year overall or an actual new game that came out this year.
I think we can do our overall
a little bit of
at
both.
the end. We can talk through.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what our overall is probably going to be.
Cool.
Based on there being one game that's an off 3 of our
I mean,
lists.
my list is more of I actually put like a collection of like games that I ended up like I went through our show list to go over games that we've played. Not all of it's I'm gonna mention.
I
all
just
of it,
chose my 5 most favorite here that I played. Yeah.
Off the top of your head. Okay, that's fair. Cool. Dylan, you want to start?
Mine's actually in order too, from best to worst. Yeah.
Oh, mine's not.
I also only did 5, so
mine's not at all.
makes it easier. Yeah, I'll go in reverse order, I guess. My number 5, Loop Hero. Just a very good passive game. I really enjoy a nice roguelike, you know. In this one, you can just play with one hand on the mouse. You just clicking, watching someone on the side.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
literally
it's really
the
good.
optimal
You just
like 2-monitor game. I feel
click around, and that's it. Like, it's so easy to play. You don't have to actually pay attention, really. You just let your dude do his thing, and then every once in a while you go and you put in all your new cards. It's now on Switch too. I've only played it on PC, but I feel like that's the place to play it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I would not
without a
wanna
mouse.
without
I
a
feel like
mouse.
it's not even on my list, but thankfully I bought it on PC, so you know, yeah. I highly recommend it.
Thank
It's a lot of fun, but it's probably the least gamey game on my list for sure. My next one, Age of Empires 4. It's number 4 on my list. Um, it's just Age of Empires, you know. I love that series. I like all of them. This is a really good one of those. It's different enough from 2, but it's not like 2 and 3. But it's not like bad in any way. I would say it's more back to roots. I wish that there was more campaigns. Said that earlier. But what I played of them, I've really enjoyed. It's just good fun. Mongols are the most fun. Once again.
Yeah, we should do more 3
Yeah.
3 on that.
I'm
That'd be fun.
100% down, especially now that I know what I'm doing more than just building a bunch of bowmen for the English.
Yeah. Once you start playing the other classes, the variety, it's just the asymmetrical civs make a difference because it's just different.
Who knew? They did a good job of making them feel different. Next on my list, Ziggurat 2 is number 3. This is, I think I actually like this better than the one past it, but I had to put it down a little bit just because it's only single player. But I've played so much of this game in the past month. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's like a faster pace than the next one on my list. You really fly around the maps. Weapons are really cool. The scrolls or whatever they are change up the game just enough. That's it. Number 2, Gunfire Reborn. This would be my number 1 if my number 1 wasn't my number 1. That's how that works.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a wild man right now.
I've played tons and tons of this. I try to force you guys to play all the time. I wish I dipped my toes into Retribution mode a little bit sooner because I was just playing just for fun. But who knew I could be playing in a harder mode for more fun. Man, what a game. Yeah.
More unlocks. Who knew?
More stuff. I do wish that they would make more characters for that game because I've kind of fallen off lately because I feel like I've played them all, or the ones that I want to play so much, and I just want some more. I don't like the dog.
You just gotta play the ones you don't.
Yeah, I don't like it.
A dog's great.
I find that one not fun. Tell you what I do find fun. Halo Infinite, number 1 game of the year. The campaign, sick. Multiplayer, sick. Only thing that's not sick so far, the store and the way you can customize your armor. Yeah.
Monetization.
The actual Halo aspect of it, the best it's been maybe in forever, maybe all time. I think it's up there with Reach and Halo 3 in terms of just gameplay. Definitely needs some things added, but I would like to see co-op sooner rather than later. Forge, more weapons, more campaign.
Laser.
Give me a firefight,
Classics,
and it could be a perfect game. Not too much to say. I mean, it's Halo, right? You got,
No, it's not just Halo.
It's Halo done right.
Probably the best Halo
think so,
of all time.
Yeah,
I would say.
it needs more maps.
I'm sure if I went back to MCC and I started playing some of the older Halos, I'd be like, ooh, yeah.
By far the most modern. It will become the best.
I think in
Halo of
about
all time,
a year to 2 years, once everything's been sussed out, especially when Forge and the community gets in it, I think it's going to be a treat.
I really
the next
can't wait
10
for
years.
that.
It's one of those games that I'll never uninstall from my computer, probably.
I have
or
it
my
installed on
Xbox.
both.
Yeah, it's really good. A lot of potential.
Yeah, a lot of
in the
potential,
future.
and what's there is great for the most part.
Yeah, well, the gameplay is solid, and that's
Yeah.
the hardest thing, right? Like the gameplay, it's just missing features.
Correct. They need to unlock more stuff, make the game better.
Mm-hmm. We'll get there. Once again, I'm just endlessly confused. What were they
Dude,
going to
fucking
release last
wild.
year?
Nothing.
Probably nothing. Maybe one map.
No, they probably would have released something, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
have been as polished, right? They probably had a list of maps,
Mhm.
and they went through those maps, and you go, yeah, it's a map, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a map.
Yeah,
There's three.
you can walk
There's
around.
3 lanes. There's a couple of levels on these 3 lanes, but instead they went and and I think Joseph Staten. Apparently he was the guy when they brought him on board. He's like, yeah, this is not good, right? And they cut the campaign by 2/3. They cut a bunch of stuff because pretty much for the most part, all the maps are really good for what they are.
Except for that sand map with the vehicles.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, but on ranked, it's not a big deal. There's
Yeah,
no
it's a good
vehicles
map.
on ranked.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Mylan wishes it was just
A
like
little
Yeah.
bit more
a
tight
tiny
on the
bit
edges.
smaller.
That's fair.
Exactly.
I love the asymmetrical map. I know on Reddit people hate it, but for a
Well,
one
it's-
flag
Yeah.
game mode, dude,
Yeah, for
And that's
one
ex-
flag, it's
and
amazing.
you can tell that's
For
exactly
anything
what they made it
else.
for. Like, yeah.
Yep.
The only thing on their vehicles is balancing vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing
I
I wish
feel
they
like-
did. But I think
Every time we're doing well in a big team battle, it's like, oh, they have a Scorpion now. Or Fiesta. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or back-to-back Banshees or back-to-back something, right? You're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, the RNG associated to it is ridiculous, especially when you come from playing Halo and it's always been
Mhm.
static spawns on both sides, and then there's symmetrical spawns.
not anymore.
I will say on the big team thing, I want there to be
too
simpler
much.
maps in the future. Because like
Yeah.
the maps they have look great, but I want like a classic Valhalla's type map where it's just like, this is just a regular 3-lane map,
Yeah,
but bigger.
and I suspect that will happen eventually. And that goes
Yeah.
back to like
Oh,
Forge, right? Like
100%.
when Forge comes out, like I'm sure there's gonna be people doing like Blood Gulch variants or Valhalla variants or something like that.
Fat
yeah.
Man, Jenga,
It's
obstacle
gonna
courses.
once that happens, it's a whole new world. But for the maps that they do have, they're pretty good for the most
Very good.
part. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is weird because generally most shooters you don't get a situation where you're like, I don't mind playing most of these maps.
There's
right?
also only like 3 or 4 of them, really.
Yeah, but they're good,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. They're not like a bunch of shit maps mixed in. So, cool. Halo, huh?
It's a good game. Yeah. Some would say the best of the year.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
Some would.
Been arguments about it. Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
All right, Aiden, what you got?
All right, so let's just take out some ones that I just want to mention just to fill out the list. Guardians of the Galaxy. Great game for what it is. Third-person action storytelling game. I love it. I'm going to finish it. Not my game of the year, but for what it is, fantastic. Dialogue's amazing. Visuals are great. Combat's pretty fun for one of those types of games. And it has very simple puzzle elements that I enjoy. Looking forward to it. I think it's better than anyone expected it to be after
Yeah.
the last Avengers game, which is the main reason it's on here. Because I assumed it was
I think
gonna
that's
be
the general
absolutely
consensus,
terrible.
right? Like everyone
Dog
heard it,
shit.
and you're like, cringe.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
why are you doing this again? But it's great. Like it deserves praise. It's the first like third person linear story game in a while that I've like fully wanted to actually finish. So props to that. And again, dialogue's gold.
Star-Lord.
Music,
Music. Mm-hmm.
audio in general. How's that overall audio?
Also, audio from what I've seen, we'll start with music. Again, the licensing budget for this game must have been insane because there are so many just super popular songs from the 80s and 70s on here. Audio seems like it works pretty great. Like, I'm not paying too close attention to it, but like they've got those nice little ambient sounds to give a feel for the alien words that you're on. Gun sounds great.
So just a good production.
Yeah. Like it's not one of those games where like I'm sitting there and just like, holy shit, this is some of the best audio design I've ever seen. It's just good. Nothing to write home about, but also
Right on.
props. You took it back from the previous one. We'll just throw a quick shout out to Halo. Made it on my list too.
Yeah, I don't know if it could not be on anyone's list.
Well,
to
if
be
you
honest.
don't have a way to play it,
Yeah,
then maybe.
exactly.
Yeah,
I know,
well,
I'm just
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It's just
It's
a delight
just
to play.
fun.
Like that simple. Let's see. Like we've covered it. We don't need to talk more about it. I felt like I had to mention Inscription
indie
too.
game. Yeah.
Like, yeah, indie game, absolutely amazing. Like one of Card Battler's visuals are amazing, storytelling's amazing, audio's amazing. Like everything about it just works in a way that I would not.
You're not the
expect
only
it
person
to
I've
work.
heard that from. Like it's like a surprise banger.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it. I would highly recommend it, and chances are, if it's on sale at some point in the future, I will.
It's
just
on
give
my
it to both of you.
it's on my
I've been
wish list.
thinking about it.
Yeah, that's mostly directed at Dylan because he
I
should
know.
already own it.
I've
Because he loves
considered
Card
it,
Battler
but
so much.
He used to not like Card Battlers
well,
until
yeah,
Slay.
just like Slay and Monster Train. Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
people. That was me, too. Actually, that's a lie. I loved Hearthstone. Not exactly the same, but close. Just give a shout out. Like Deathloop. Deathloop would probably be
I
my
did
game
buy
of the
them.
year if I bought it on PC in the first place. Yeah. Like, I think I'm going to buy it again on PC. Like, I love that game. I love everything it is. I just don't like playing it on a controller.
I play it on
That's my
controller
issue.
and keyboard and mouse, and keyboard and mouse is definitely better.
Yeah. Especially, like, if you're used to, like, doing those types of games on controller or PC. Because, like, I played Dishonored 1 and 2 on PC. And, like, just having that, like, extra level of precision so you don't...
No, I'm
fuck
killing
something up and be
everybody.
Like,
Yeah.
well, this life's over. Yep. So, if I had done that, just want to mention it, like, it would have been Game of the Year, because I think it does basically everything I wanted to do amazing. Onto the true Game of the Year contenders now. It Takes Two.
It's on
Boys,
Game Pass.
you guys should play that.
Is
Oh.
he?
Oh, Faulkner's back. I don't know. We'll keep going because I know it keeps recording. Amazing, Dylan. Like, I still have not beaten it just because of scheduling constraints with David, but... so It Takes Two. Absolute delight. Everything about that game's amazing. The co-op elements are great. The little, like, random mini games that you encounter in the world are great. Puzzles are great. Combat, it's nothing to write home about, but it fits the bill for what they wanted to do. And just the sets and settings that they, like, put forward in that game are absolutely amazing. Like, oh, you go through a kid's tour room. Oh, that's obvious. You go through a mold-infested underground place that's absolutely insane looking. Amazing. Looking forward to finishing the game. Scheduling constraints with the person I've been playing with haven't panned out so far, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, I'm a little sad I never got to play through it. Like, I've heard simply wonderful things about it.
Yeah, let me tell you, if you guys want to play it and you, for some reason, really don't want to play it together, I will play it with both of you again.
Yeah, like,
I think we should do that. Force them to play it.
Force them to play.
3 times. I wouldn't even be upset. It's just, it's one of those games where you're just playing and there's a smile on your face the entire time.
Yeah, I hear it's better than it deserves any right to be.
Mm-hmm. Let's give a quick, not Game of the Year, but I just want to give a shout out because it is one of the prettiest games I've ever played. Ratchet and Clank, boys.
I want to play
Beautiful. Super fun, but also I just did not have the drive to finish it when I was playing it. But I'm
That's
pretty confident I'm going to go back to it. It's one of those ones that I'm happy to just keep on my PlayStation for a while.
Okay.
Especially as I do not turn on my PlayStation very much. It's fine, though. Top 2 games of the year. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Binding of Isaac Repentance DLC.
You played that a lot.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. The only reason I don't want to give it the top number 1 spot is because it's technically DLC, even though it's basically adding a couple hundred hours onto the actual game time.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, let's paint it this way. It literally more than doubled the player or character count for that game in an already extremely deep game in a meaningful way.
Okay.
Like, each character that you play, like, some of them not the best, but they all feel unique for what they are. And that is absolutely absurd to me to do on a game that's that old.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of rebalancing, new arcs to go through. Like, it's
Yes, it's a
best
lot of love
roguelike of all time.
Existing title. It's
Exactly.
a lot of love for an existing title.
Mm-hmm.
Years old.
Yeah, like, I think the Flash game came out almost 10 years ago now.
Yeah, it's wild.
So yeah, I genuinely think that's going to be my favorite roguelike of all time forever, because I don't see anything else getting this level of continued support.
Dead Cells, maybe. But
honestly,
maybe not.
Like, Dead Cells doing well, still not close to me.
Yeah, because you like bullet hells, right?
Oh, love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so...
if they continued like updating Enter the Gungeon, that's the only one I could see like getting near this level.
Yeah.
But like, each DLC they're doing for this is going to be like almost doubling the amount of content in the game. Oh,
Right on.
one of the best. And this one's mostly going to be number 1 of the year because a lot of websites have not been putting as their even like mentioning on their game of the year list. Was ever hear of a game called Super Auto Pets?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
I am one.
He likes it a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna commit to it. Like, I was swinging between this and one more that I'll mention after this as a close runner-up. Super Auto Pets, absolutely fucking phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Hear that? Phenomenal.
It's pretty good.
It's
not phenomenal.
for a free-to-play game. This is.
But you paid for extra characters or whatever.
I don't even like the extra characters I paid
I know,
for. I
I'm
usually
just
play in
saying.
the other patch. Like, it is unprecedented, like, the amount that I can just be like, oh, I'll play a couple rounds when I get home from work, and then, like, 4 hours later, it's just like, I just want to win with a level 3 dodo, man.
All right. Okay.
Like, it is, as far as auto battlers go, I think it is the cream of the crop. Like, it's got a super simple interface, super simple rules, but the amount of depth you can get with just the RNG of what your shops are, what kind of build you want to go with, is unreal to me. And it is just such a delight to play.
So funny.
Anytime you want to play, let me know. I'm always down. It also fits perfectly with the bill of Loop Hero with being a perfect, like, 2-monitor game.
Yeah.
Because,
You
like,
play very casually.
Are you playing on your computer or are you playing on your phone?
I do not have an Android and it's not on iOS yet.
Got it. Okay. I've only played it on my phone.
Yeah, but the moment it comes out on my phone, 2 games at once, baby.
All right.
And this is probably should have mentioned this first, but it's just gonna be the close runner-up. Hitman 3, boys.
You know, I haven't heard too many people put Hitman 3 on their list.
And they're
It's a
missing
little
out.
surprising, yeah.
They're missing out. Like, I think just like the lower quantity of maps hurts it a little bit, but it has some of my favorite maps out of the entirety of the Hitman franchise. Like the map here, like the Scottish Manor, absolutely amazing. Dubai, like everything but the final map, which is just a story map where it's just linear on a train and it's not even bad. It's just not a Hitman level.
Yeah.
Are all amazing. Like, I haven't played in a little bit, but I know that if I ever boot it up, I'll be sucked in for another month or so. Like, Hitman is one of those series for just insane replayability.
Did you play any of the seasonal stuff? The winter season stuff?
I did a little bit, but also, this is my big gripe with Hitman. Not a big fan of elusive targets.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, like I love the idea of them, but like sometimes, especially if you're not in the circuit of actually playing the game, you just find out like, oh shit, I missed this one. Damn, that sucks. I can't ever get that item. It's not they're important items, but it just kind of sucks a little bit. I'd wish that they were like, oh, you get one shot on this. If you lose, you lose. Not you get one shot in this 4-day period.
Yeah.
Kind of forces you to play.
Mm-hmm. But as far as the game goes, like it's the sandbox murder simulator that none of us deserve. Like it's basically perfection with what they wanted to do.
Sure. That's cool.
That's
you?
Yeah, that's my list. I mean, Repentance, true number 1. It's a DLC, so we'll just pop it up there in God category. Super Auto Pets.
So funny.
That's the one, boys.
That's so funny.
Sleeper Hit. Northern Light would be proud of me. I know that.
All right. My number 5 is probably going to be Valheim. I loved Valheim, and I wish I played more of Valheim.
I didn't
play nearly enough as I should have. It's so much. The thing with Valheim is it's a lot of fun co-op. And there was definitely a moment there I was going to rent a server to have a persistent server up for any of us to jump in anytime to work on it. I still might do that.
Let me know, because I never really got to play. I bought it, but then...
Yeah, that's the problem with those kinds of games sometimes is like, you don't want to waste time on your own server if you're working on someone else's server from time to time, you're right? But exactly. I've definitely thought about like, all right, how much is the server? $15 a month or $10 a month or whatever? Like, I might do that. I might.
I'm super down for it. The only reason I didn't like click on it in the first place was I mostly played with you and Burger, and was like offset by 2 days of progress.
Yeah, and so you get a little behind. Yeah,
you just constantly playing catch up, and it's just like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I think the best way to do it is to spin up a server and all of us jump on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we all kind of get learn the mechanics of what Valheim is, and then the server's on at all times, so you could just jump in from here and there and then make slow progress that we all share. I think that's probably the best way to play it. So I loved every bit of it, and they keep doing updates on it, and I really liked it. I want to shout out an honorable mention, which is Tribes of Midgard, because it has some similar stuff. It's more roguelike than Valheim, but I do want to shout out Tribes of Midgard.
I still love that art style.
It's so good. It's so pretty. The game, for the most part, plays really good. I want to play the new update. I think it deserves more game time. My number 4 is probably Gunfire Reborn. To be honest, it's just a great one of those, like Dylan was saying. It's just a great one of those. It's a game I generally don't play by myself, and that's why it's not much higher. But when you play with friends, even just one other person, is very fun. It's very fun. There's definitely moments like with Dylan, we're just like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like you're just murdering everything. You're like, what is this? What is going on? Like, this is crazy right now.
Yeah, like that one round we had where we both had to turn down the damage numbers. Like, I can't even see what I'm shooting at.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like, this game is insane right now. But then, even within the same game, you just get so complacent, and then all of a sudden you're like both knocked on the ground. You're like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. Like, I thought we were murdering everything. So the game has its moments where it'll humble you in certain ways sometimes. So I think it's great. For an indie game, I think it's wonderful. I hope they keep adding to it because it did get its 1.0 release this fall. So I look forward to seeing what additions they make to it.
Same.
Number 3 is probably going to be Age of Empires 4. I love that game. Like I haven't played it in a bit, but I still watch tournament gameplay. Like, it's fun for me to watch. I think that game is great. I think there's a lot of nuance in the game and a lot of systems to learn, not just for whatever civs that you want to main, but also you have to understand the mechanics associated to the civs that you're fighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's easy to play, but it has a really hard learning curve. I think
Yeah, to
hard to master.
get to like the top level.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful game. Did I say it was number 3?
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2. It's probably gonna be Halo Infinite. It's gonna be Halo Infinite. I can't remember the last time I just like beelined a campaign, a FPS campaign like that.
Probably
And
the
I
Modern
beelined
Warfare
it-
one for me.
Last one was Titanfall 2
Mm.
for me. And I didn't play it by myself. Like I was at my buddy Tim's house. I stayed at his place, and we were just swapping controllers back and forth every few deaths. Or
Still,
sections.
so cute.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like you're both into it, and I was into the story for the most part, even though I think the boss is pretty average. Like he's just a angry boss, but I think it's I think that's intentional because the real boss is part of the ending, right? Like, oh, I see. Like when you beat the campaign, you're gonna be like, oh, this is when the real game starts, and that's where you have that feeling of like, okay, let's go. Let's keep playing. Let's continue this story. Like it shouldn't end here. It sucks that it ends here. So, yeah, and then the gameplay loop is almost perfect. My only problem is that like when Dylan and I play Apex first before Halo, I get really upset. It bothers the fuck out of me because I think Apex has the smoothest FPS gameplay, at least on controller. This is with a controller mindset. I think Apex is the best.
Halo is good, but Apex is still.
Yeah, it's just smoother.
I don't disagree with you, but also for the arena shooter aesthetic, it'd be honestly terrible if it had like a similar movement system to me.
That's fair. I mean, that's a strong argument to make, like for an arena shooter, right? Because within its own genre, it's really good. I just wish on a controller, like moving, it's more of the movement, more so than the right thumbstick movement.
Yeah,
it needs to feel smoother because I feel slow when whereas Apex, I can turn a lot better.
Okay,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I just don't experience it because
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I would say number 1 for me, but this is more of a new game to me than a new game this year.
Yeah, it deserves it.
Is God of War. 100%. 100% God of War. That's, to me, is the greatest game I've ever made.
And here's the thing, I can accept that.
Yeah. I wouldn't argue against that. I mean, it's not my favorite game of all time, but it's
I see where you're coming from.
Like, really good game. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm playing Final Fantasy VII right now, and I'm like beelining it really hard. But I was beelining it because I was like, I want to get it done before this podcast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that one, I just took that game in. Like, I never skipped a scene. All the dialogue, even like on the boat when you're like paddling around, and the what's his name is like telling a story. I'm like listening. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for him to finish his story before I get off this. Like, I was engrossed in that game. The combat system, especially as you get toward the end game and you unlock all the different like skills and stuff like that, and switching between the different weapons, and it's so smooth, and the dodge parry system is so good. To me, it's probably the greatest, and the story on top of it, right? Like Halo has probably one of the best like gameplay loops there is for a shooter, but the story is like, I could
pretty
leave or take it kind of thing, right? Whereas this one, like the combat system's good, the story's good, you're engrossed in the world. Like I just that's my game of the year this year. I was such a treat.
Yeah, I'm happy you played it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Ragnarok.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Probably the greatest game of all time for me.
What do you like better, the blades or the axe?
I love them both. That's the beauty of the game, is like being able to switch between blade and axe. I'm constantly switching between weapons. Constantly.
That's the right way to play.
Yeah.
Dylan,
Like,
I feel like you were fishing for an answer too.
I like the axe. That's fun.
Axe is cool, like being able to throw it, bring it back, and some of the like heavy hits. But the beauty of the game is being able to flow in and out of the 3 different combat systems seamlessly. It's just
It's been a long time since I played it, but I remember when I played it, I like rushed through until like I think I got stuck at like one of the Valkyries, and I was like, I just gotta take a break. And I took like a huge break, and when I came back, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go back and do the mission. And I was like on the last mission. I was like, I don't know why I stopped before, but that game is so much fun.
Yeah. I'm a little sad I didn't get to play a bunch of the newer games this year, because like Deathloop or Ratchet and Clank or It Takes Two or even Hitman 3, right? There's a bunch of games I missed out on.
Thank you for naming basically only games that I put on my list.
Yeah, I have to trust you. Like, all of us have like these certain games that we kind of gravitate towards, and it's kind of cool to have the variety that we all kind of like add to it.
You let me know. I'll play some weird shit for you, bud.
Yeah, you keep doing it. I appreciate it.
Play Inscription. That one's cheap, and you can
it's
already
on there.
play easily.
It's definitely on my to-do list. Yeah, that's it, man. That's my list. I would say as a group, Halo Infinite's pretty high on the list, right?
I think that's the
Halo
easiest thing to agree on.
Gunfire.
Yeah.
But I think Halo is.
I think Halo beats it.
Yeah.
As a complete package.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like Gunfire, I love, but like if there wasn't co-op,
I would not
have played nearly as much. Halo, I'd play by myself.
Yeah, like the campaign was ridiculous. Like the sandbox is so much fun.
Yeah, there just needs to be more of it. That's my one gripe with Halo.
Yeah, it's such a weird gripe for an open world game, right? Right? Like generally you don't get that, which I think that makes it special. Is like a lot of times you're like, most people complain because open world games are too long.
Yeah, this one is not.
This one's not. I think it's the right pacing, personally. I think 20 hours is such a like sweet spot for a open world campaign.
I agree, but I just wish that there was more to the actual story.
Yeah, because you want more. Like, the way it ends, you're just like, fuck, okay, I'm down to see where we're going with this. It does a good job like resolving a lot of the storylines from like Halo 4 and 5.
I don't know those.
I don't.
Oh, I loved most. Well, I love the Master Chief Cortana story in Halo 4. I think it's probably the best.
I played that one, but I don't remember.
Yeah, like, I think it's probably the best. Like from an emotional standpoint, I think it's really good. And this one helps resolve a lot of it. There's definitely moments where I'm like, oh, like hit me, like, oh. But yep, that's it, guys. That's all I got. You guys have anything to add?
Yeah, games are going to come out in 2022, and we're going to play them.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain I didn't miss any big games I wanted to mention this year, so...
Yeah, I can't
mention. Sucks to suck.
All right. Well, that is it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye.